The semi-finals of the boxing were to sort out who would fight for gold and who would have to settle for bronze. In the women's flyweight division, England's Olympic champion Nicola Adams was bidding to reach another final. Her opponent was Canada's Mandy Bujold. We pick up the action in the third round. At ringside, Jim Watts and John Harker.
Not all that many clean punches from Adams. She's struggling a little bit with the speed. And then the work rate and the fact that it's never single punches coming back, always twos and threes.
And she doesn't look remotely like slowing up, Bujold, either. She's been on her toes all the way through these first 3.5 rounds.
Good shot, terrific punch there from Adams. Yeah, she's leaving a little bit of space. She's leaving a little bit of space between herself and Bujold now, giving herself some room to work. This is impressive.
Yeah, much better finish to the round.
Yeah, she had to find a higher gear, and she found it. That was experience, and you would imagine the quality of the work in the later part of the round, starting with that right hand. So if the judges were swithering between the two, then yeah, you would expect that to knock them in Adams' direction.
All three judges went with Adams in that round, and she was headed for a unanimous points decision. In the men's flyweight, Pakistan's experienced Mohammad Wasim was up against the Ghanaian Abdul Omar. We joined the bout in the second round.
Yeah, Omar's just a little bit too loose. He's nice and tight as he's moving around, but when he wants to get the punches off, he sort of forgets about defence. He's wide open to counters every time he throws that right hand. The Wasim, easy to anticipate the punch, and with his experience he's managing to deal with it without any great problem. But good action. He just held the punch back there on the call to break, which is good. You know, he shuffles forward nicely, Omar. The jab's good, but the sharpness.
Oh, I don't know whether he needed this 8 count. He was still throwing them back.
Well, I know sometimes I'm still thinking like a fighter, but I would really be annoyed if I was in there and that was happening to me. I mean, they're not in the least distressed by the punch.
Precisely how long do you have to be retired, Jim, to stop thinking like a fighter?
I don't think I ever will, John. I don't think I ever will. That's why sometimes I complain about stoppages, because I'm thinking, you know, well, how would I like to have been stopped on those grounds? But the referees, they have to think, you know, safety, safety, safety. It's amateur boxing. This is not guys making their living. But in a close round where the judges are kind of, you know, swithering a little bit, a standing count for nothing. It's not, no, this isn't, but a standing count can just nudge them the other way.
He wasn't in trouble by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, end of the second round. And Mohammad Wasim of Pakistan is absolutely on top. And time's running out for Abdul Omar, who, unless there's some sort of lunacy from the judges, is going to need a stoppage in the third round.
Omar was unable to achieve his objective, leaving Wasim to progress to the final. With Wasim already through to the final, the big question was who would he meet? New Scottish hero Rhys McFadden or Australia's Andrew Maloney? It was proving to be a really tight contest as we joined the bout in the closing stages.
So Maloney, the stress, is just 1 point behind on the card, but can he counterpunch his way to victory in this third round? You would think midway through the third round he needs to pick up the pace as McFadden starts to come at him.
You know, he's had success a few times, Maloney, when he stepped forward with these punches. That was a nice little clip there from him. I'm surprised he hasn't taken the initiative a little bit more often. I know McFadden does like to counter punch, but you saw McFadden actually having to run up close there. Not the same composure in McFadden's boxing.
Maloney's come into the fight with a game plan from round one to try and draw McFadden in counter. Does he need to change it now in this last 50 seconds, Jim?
Well, I don't know. I'm still impressed with the clean boxing. Nothing to split them here. McFadden has landed a couple of cheeky little southpaw right hooks. This has been terrific. I mean, you can't argue whichever way the judges see this. Maloney getting a little bit more involved here than he has done in the previous couple of rounds. So it's another round where it's the clean punching of Maloney against the all-out aggression and combinations there. McFadden, he's landed a few good right hands in the third round here. McFadden, has that been enough to turn the judges? But Maloney is happy. He's entitled to be happy because that was a terrific performance from him.
Yeah, well, they've both raised their arms. They're both pretty keen on how they performed there. This is really, really tight.
Despite the gallant efforts of the 19-year-old Glaswegian, the decision went in favour of the Australian. Mauritius will have a medal to celebrate after their light heavyweight Kennedy St Pierre, who fittingly works in the entertainment industry, forced the corner of Welsh opponent Nathan Thorley to throw in the towel early in the bout. In the final, he's likely to meet much sterner opposition in the shape of New Zealand's David Naika. Ulsterman Sean McGlinchey had only won the right to represent his country in a box-off and proved no match for the man from Hamilton.
Well, another terrific performance from Naika. So he's building towards his best form, and I think he'll need that in the final, but no question he's the one going through to the final.
Naika's preparations have included sparring with professionals. It seems to have paid off, and the light heavyweight division is set up for a classic final on day 10.